So let's jump right in. In this explainer, we're going to unpack how the ancient book of Proverbs uses some really subtle wordplay and context to deliver these powerful and, honestly, sometimes shocking ethical challenges. Okay, so let's dive into this by looking at a kind of puzzle. It's presented by two verses about wealth that are almost identical. Now, they look pretty simple, right? But as you're about to see, there's a brilliant trap hiding in plain sight. So you look at these side by side, and you're probably thinking, okay, simple repetition. One's in chapter 10, the other's in chapter 18. I mean, it almost looks like some ancient scribe just made a copy-paste error, right? But that tiny little difference you see there at the very end of 1811, that changes everything. Now let's zoom in on that second proverb, 1811, and really see how it just masterfully lays this trap for the reader, setting you up for a total reversal of what you expect. It starts out conventionally, doesn't it? It kicks off by echoing that first proverb, and it's basically confirming what feels like a simple, universal truth. Money buys you security. It makes you feel safe. And it just keeps going, right? It keeps building on this idea of safety and protection. It's kind of lulling you into nodding along, thinking you know exactly where this is headed. But, yeah, you have no idea what's coming. And then, bam, this devastating punchword hits you at the very end. Fantasy. With just that one phrase, the entire illusion is shattered. The proverb flips the meaning completely on its head, revealing that this feeling of security, it's all a delusion. So I think the first big takeaway for us here is to always question what seems like a simple universal truth. The real meaning is so often hiding in the details. Okay, so here's the deal. It's not just about that one little word. It's all about the neighborhood a proverb lives in. A biblical scholar, Dr. Knut Heim, he has a great term for this, proverbial clusters. And honestly, that's the key to unlocking what's really going on. And this just lays it all out perfectly. See, the verse right before it points to true security in God. Then our verse comes along and shows us false security in wealth. And the one right after? Boom. It warns that pride, the exact kind of pride you get from trusting your money, leads to destruction. So it's not just an observation you see. It's a straight-up warning. So when you pull back and look at both of these proverbs in their own little neighborhoods, you realize neither one is just saying wealth is good. They're pushing the reader away from that simple idea and toward a much deeper ethical point. The real fight here, the real contrast, it isn't rich versus poor. It's all about where you put your trust. That's the game. Okay, so we've kind of flexed this muscle a little bit, right? Reading between the lines. Now we're going to apply that same skill to a passage where the stakes get raised. I mean, way, way higher. This stops being an intellectual exercise and becomes a matter of life and death. Wow, I mean, this verse is it's so visceral. It's not some abstract idea. It's describing a scene of real, sustained persecution, of torture and murder. People aren't just dying. They're literally being dragged. They're staggering. And the proverb points the finger right at you, the reader, and says, do something. And what's just incredible is that the passage immediately anticipates the two excuses, the same two timeless excuses people have always given for doing nothing, for just standing by in the face of horror. Okay, excuse number one, powerlessness. You know the feeling, right? What could I have done? I'm just one person. I'm too small to make a difference against something so huge. And then there's excuse number two, ignorance. This is the classic, hey, look, we didn't know. Or maybe a little more honestly, we didn't know it was that bad. It's trying to plead innocent because you didn't have all the facts. And this is where Dr. Heim brings in this really powerful personal connection. He points out that these ancient excuses are the exact same ones he heard from his grandparents' generation in Germany during World War II. His point is that not knowing is often a deliberate choice. Why? Because if you know, then you have to respond. And responding can be really, really dangerous. But the proverb has this absolutely chilling rebuttal to both of those excuses. It says that God sees right past them. He doesn't just see what we do. He weighs the hearts. He gets it. He understands the real reason we stood by and did nothing. And he knows the truth we try to hide, even from ourselves. So this isn't just about condemning inaction. The passage actually goes way further. It offers this radical reimagining of what it even means to be a faithful witness in a broken, violent world. And what this does is it completely reframes the whole idea of martyrdom. It's not about seeking death. It's not about destroying your enemies. It's about this incredibly positive, active choice to love other people so fiercely that you're willing to risk your own comfort, your own safety, and yeah, even your own life to stand up for them. And this leads to Dr. Heim's really provocative challenge, which he pulls right from this passage. So let's be clear, it is not a call to go out looking for death. It's a call to live a life with so much faithful obedience and love for others that you just don't back down when things get costly. It's about embracing a love that costs you something. And so that's where we're left. Once you move past the easy, simple platitudes, the book of Proverbs corners you with this deeply uncomfortable question. Once you see what's happening, when you can't say we didn't know anymore, what will you do? When knowledge demands action, what does it really weigh?